Item for you, a familiar voice shouted from inside the tent that had been erected around the scene. He downed the pills and took a swig of coffee as he entered. Amanda? Sorry for calling you both out so early. Dr. Walsh greeted them both. Not a problem. What you got for us? Julie asked. I think you might find this one interesting, Amanda said as she lowered the sheet that was covering a swollen female body. My team have just pulled this poor lady out of the Trent. So, this is our suspicious item, Julie muttered grimly. We get our fair share of suicide attempts here, but this one seems different. She looks like she's been in there for a while, Julie commented. Exactly. I would say she's been under there for about a week, and she's only resurfaced due to decomp. So, how does it differ from any other suicide? Chris asked as he moved closer to the body. Usually people surface a lot quicker in the Trent, or they're reported missing, so there's already a search underway for them, Amanda explained. So we could be looking at murder? Possibly, though I'll leave that one for you to figure out, Amanda answered, giving Chris her knowing smile. Do you know when you'll be able to perform the autopsy? Once we recover her back to Derby Royal, I'll be able to give you a more exact time frame. Thank you. Chris moved away from the body and let the team continue to make the recovery. Do we know who found her? Julie asked one of the officers, who was positioned outside the tent. The groundsman, Mum. Do you know where he is now? He was taken into the stadium by one of his colleagues. PC Wilkes is with them. I'll radio ahead and let them know you're on your way. Chris looked up at the stadium that towered above them. You a fan? Julie asked as they approached it. Oh no, that would be treason, seeing as I live in spitting distance of Derby County Stadium. I can't say I miss working match days when Nottingham Forest and Derby were playing, Julie commented. It sometimes felt like we were going into war. Chris laughed. Football fans, alcohol and rival teams, a dangerous mix. Chris and Julie walked around to the main entrance, and as they passed through the stadium car park, Chris admired all the expensive-looking cars. Players must be here. I wish I was on the same salary as one of these footballers, Chris muttered as he peered through the car windows. I'll let you bring that one up. Julie laughed as she held open the door and followed Chris into a brightly lit reception area. Sir, Mum. A young PC approached them both. William Drake, the groundsman, is in his office with one of his colleagues. Thank you, Officer Wilkes, Mum. Have you managed to get much out of him yet? Julie asked. He was in a state of shock when we arrived, so we decided just to get him inside, give him a drink and take the statement when he was ready. Do you mind showing us to his office? Chris asked. Of course. It's a bit of a walk, right on the other side of the ground, I'm afraid. Not to worry. It'll give DS Ryan a chance to see if she can spot any footballers hanging around. Chris smirked at his partner as they began to follow the PC. Do we know the location of the players? Julie asked as they skirted the pitch. They're currently in a meeting with their manager. Do you think you'll need to speak to them? I doubt it. Unless any of them saw anything suspicious? Not that I know of, but I can go and check, PC Wilkes offered. No, it's fine, officer. I think DS Ryan will be more than happy to take on that job. Chris continued to look around the grounds as they passed through. He noticed the large screens at either end of the pitch playing cartoons to an empty stadium and wondered vaguely why they were still on. The amount of electricity those things must waste being on all the time. It was hard to imagine how, on most weekends, the stadium would be filled to capacity, when right now all he could hear was the passing of traffic outside. PC Wilkes led them back inside and towards a set of offices, all with brass nameplates on the doors. Sorry, I did say it was a bit of a walk, he commented, turning to them as he knocked on one of the doors before entering. Detectives, this is William Drake. He's the groundsman here. Chris introduced himself and Julie and then held his hand out towards the man who seemed to have shrunk into himself. William's office was filled with football memorabilia. Maps of the football pitch were attached to the walls, as well as a calendar listing all the year's fixtures and other events taking place in the stadium. Can I get you a drink or anything? William asked as he stood up and moved over towards the kettle, hidden away in one of the corners. I'm good, thank you. Chris took a seat, while Julie walked over towards the small window. Sorry, detectives, William said, letting out a long sigh before continuing. I just can't get the...